All right, so I want to share some magic with you. This is an experience that's just happened, and I want to capture this in real time, or as much in real time as I can, as a story, download, teaching, channeling kind of vlog experience. And it's called this: being with the playfulness of the bat. Maybe the video's called that, maybe it's not. That's why I'm saying it now, because that's exactly what's just happened. I was outside, time of recording, it's like, I don't even know what time it is actually. I didn't check my phone before I came on here. Where is it? I don't know what time it is. Maybe that's a good thing. We're in no time. Yeah, that's the rhythm. All right. So I was outside about 30 minutes ago, and I went out to be with the medicine. I went out just to like relax and be with cannabis and just ease into my evening and begin a bit of a communion with that spirit. And as I was coming back in, it's kind of dusk, right? It's in that little limbo period between still being light and like not fully dark. And I'm stood out on some decking we've got out back, and I see this bat just flutter past. In fact, I saw the bat on the way out. I'm like, oh, interesting, there's a bat. I wonder what bat medicine is for me. Not really attaching to it in any way, just like, I just wonder what bat medicine is. Because there's been a lot of these autumnal medicines popping up for me recently. It's that time of year. It's getting into October, it's spooky season, there's a lot more spiders about. Bats apparently are coming now. This is the first time I've really experienced bat medicine. Right, I've seen bats before, but never really communed with them, like the spirit of the animal, in a way which I have tonight. And it's this. I was just stood there looking at the bat, just trying to feel into the presence of this bat, like just being in receivership of the bat. Because there was a part of me that wanted to come in and like do some writing, like do some journaling. There was a bit of this obligatory productivity mindset still going. It's something I'm working through. It's like this whole journey of making peace with time and coming into creational allyship with time, like letting go of the oppressive imprinted version of time in favor of our own emanation frequency of time, which is our own frequency of time. Basically just beingness, just being, right? Just being in the isness. That was a word salad. It's a good word salad, but it's just being, right? It's just being in the now. So I'm looking at these bats, and I'm having a good time, right? I am mostly chilling, but there's just some of that part of me going, hey, like, maybe you might want to go and do a thing. And I'm like, all right, in a minute, we're being with the bats right now. And that's where this phrase came from. I'm like, I'm being with the bats. Nice bit of alliteration. Alliteration is like so sticky. As an integration piece, I use it so much. It's so fucking useful in it. Like being with the bats. It's pretty hard to forget. Like when you link something together that way. Think about how many famous people have alliterative names. I'm going to flop now and not name any. Like, who has an alliterative name? Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I knew I'd do that. Anyways, you get it, right? So I'm being with a bat, and I'm receiving this bat, and I'm looking at it, and it's doing the same motions I notice after a while. It's doing loop-de-loops, it's dive bombing, it's coming up and back around. I'm like, oh, the bat's playing right now. There was no real ground for it to look for any prey or anything. It wasn't really in like the hunter mode. It was a small bat. I have no idea what it was like, what it would eat. Probably small berries or something actually. It's probably a forager. It's about that big, like just for context. And this bat's playing. I'm like, oh, right. Bat medicine is here to show me more playtime. Bat medicine is here to allow me to drop into myself. Because that's exactly what I was doing in that moment. Ironically, I'm a little bit out of that moment now as I'm sharing this story, because I'm really like in that gotta share the story mode. But in that moment, it was a really beautiful experience. In fact, you know what? Why do we not just ground right now? Let's just ground right now. Like, why would I name being in this mode? Why would I name, oh, yeah, I'm kind of like out of alignment now after being with the bat? Why would I just allow that? What part of me is allowing that? Part of me that was going to allow that was the part of me that didn't quite feel worthy of just dropping in. Okay, better. Not 100%, but a lot better. Let's carry on the story. So this bat's dive bombing, and I notice its playfulness. I'm like, oh, right. You're doing loop-de-loops. You're doing these like 180-degree kind of a twisting adjacent like turns. It's kind of hard to describe the language I've got right now. It was doing all these maneuvers, and I'm receiving the playfulness. I'm like, I received that. And that juxtaposition of the perception of what might be a dark, malevolent, evil energy, because bats have got a lot of evil connotations in the reality. Like, think about how many things bats are associated with. Like, they've basically been weaponized and completely undermined by the way they've been portrayed in horror films. Where is the beauty of the bat? Like, there's so many bat species, and I'm just thinking this in real time. This is just coming through to me right now. What is the beauty of the bat? It just showed me playfulness tonight. And when I recognized that, there was a point at which I really, really moved into gratitude for the bat. I'm like, I just want to reach out and just receive you more. I just want to enter into deeper communion with you. Like, I was really in the mysticism at that point. I'm like, you're amazing. I just said it in my head. I'm just like, you're amazing. Just like, wow, thank you for being here. You're amazing. And as I said, you're amazing, on the A of the amazing, it came and swooped closer to me than it had ever swooped, during this little exchange. It was almost as if to say, hey. That's it, nothing more. That's all the bat said. It's like, hey. It was that quick. It was so cool though. I'm like, nice. Nice. Thank you, bat. Thank you, friend, bat. And this carried on for, I don't know, I wasn't checking the time. I didn't have my phone with me. Thankfully, I didn't have my phone. I'm so grateful I didn't have my phone. I'm just reflecting now, it's that's such a good thing I didn't have my phone. I wouldn't have been able to photograph them. I might have done that. Part of me might have thought, wow, this is so cool, let me take a photo. Maybe in a mostly, really well-meaning way, but what type of a photo am I going to get of this bat which is careering around the sky, doing these massive maneuvers on a phone in the dark? Yeah. Not very good. Anyways, so we're on the A of the amazing. The bat swoops past, I'm like, you're amazing. And then I just carry on being with the experience. And then another bat came, and there's two of them at this point. And I'm looking at them both kind of weaving around one another. And then I say, thank you for being here. And they do another response. It was on the thank of the thank you. They came again in perfect synchronicity. I'm like, oh wow. wow, I'm just being here with this. I'm just being here with this rhythm of life right now. Like, this is the rhythm of life. This is it. Being with experiences like this is the rhythm of life that I want to live. This is fucking gorgeous. This is beautiful. It's being out in nature with these gorgeous creatures, being in the stillness, finding the beauty in the stillness, and finding the beauty in just real easeful receivership, just being in a pure witnessing expression, just witnessing nature, just witnessing the earth. And what was even more synchronistic than this, like, I'm going to get these actually. I'm going to get them. Stay there. So literally, before I went out, I was listening to a channeled reader that I follow on YouTube, and they were talking about finding the beauty in the stillness. She's called Jadina. She's a fucking amazing reader. Check her out. Yeah, and I wrote these 2 cards. I write a lot of these index cards. These index cards are a massive part of my process. And these ones are anchored in the journey transcending time, on a big journey of time. And I realized before I came out that I've not been allowing myself to rest. Like, I find it really difficult just allowing myself, even when I'm really, really tired. And this ties back to the context I set up at the beginning. Last night, I had a really inconsistent night's sleep. It was just one of those nights. And so I'm low on sleep today, and the state my sleep health is in at the moment, if I don't get enough sleep, if I get less than 7 hours, then I'm kind of not in a great place for most of the day. Sometimes I can get away with it, sometimes not. But today, not a great day. So I'm doing my thing, but I'm kind of a bit cognitively, slow, a bit lethargic, not fully able to be with it. And at a certain point, at 5 p.m, I'm like, you know what? I'm home. I'm in my room. Let me just put my head down. If I get half an hour, just shutting my eyes, I don't even need to sleep. That would be a really good thing for me. And when I was in that, I was just getting all these patterns and programs surfacing. Like, they always tend to come for me when I'm at my most tired. Like, when I'm just so unable to be in a straight spine, unable to, like, be really erect and, like, in my sovereignty. It's always on my down days when it's most difficult to really hold myself. And there was kind of a flood of these narratives. Didn't really trigger me, but they were just there. And one of them was one that I alchemized, because I witnessed the berating of myself for not being productive in that moment. I witnessed myself trying to say things like, oh, if you weren't so tired, you could be doing this, or like, we could be making this progress here, like, you could be doing this, like, why can't we think right now? You know, like, really catastrophizing being tired, essentially. Like, how hilarious is that? And I witnessed that in a way I haven't fully witnessed before. I witnessed it enough to make it tangible enough that it's now something I can hold and write about, and that I've got the courage to write about. Because there's a part of me which is still, holding on to the familiar like the ego does. But I captured it. And I captured it in these 2 cue cards. One is awake, one is align. The awake card is basically talking about the cognitive piece, the bit I just shared. And so the awakening, the aha moment, that's what the awake piece is. The align piece is the aligned action. So, like, now I've witnessed this, what am I actually going to do with this thing? And the answer was, What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to 2018, Anson Road. This was a previous job that I had as a support worker, caring for people with profound learning difficulties, autism, ADHD, and epilepsy, and like, supporting people with very complex needs, basically. And it was a full-on job. I did 12-hour days consistently all week. I did like 80-hour weeks at some point. Like, just thinking back to that period of my life now is, wow, that's crazy. Could not imagine doing that now. I don't believe anyone should be doing that. 80-hour weeks are crazy. Anyways, that part of me that was really active at that time was the whipcracker. And the whipcracker is the one who was whispering those sweet nothings into my ear or into my mind, like deeper into my conscious mind, or maybe up into my conscious mind. It's the whipcracker that was saying like, hey, you could be doing this right now. You could be doing this right now. Why are you doing this? And it's a real seductress, the whipcracker. It's like, hey, if you do this thing, there's accolades, there's dopamine. Yeah, you want your dopamine. You want to get some dopamine. Ah, man. Yeah. It's like the ego just wants its fix. The ego just wants it. But the more present part of me was like, all right, maybe we don't want to think like that, and maybe we work this out. Maybe we start thinking and choosing in a different way. And that's what these are. That's what these cards are. And so this is part of a system which I'm creating with like a box, and I'll go into it more in like later videos. This is what I call practical spirituality. And it's taking your insights and going, okay, like, what's the aligned action? What's the thing I do off the back of this? Because I've been prone for many years to journaling and then not reading the journals for like a long time. Really struggled with that. Again, ego resistance. Like, it's not stupidity. It's not scheduling. Like, I'm pretty passionate with the things that I really care about. But I just could not get past this invisible block with reading these journals for years. Couldn't take the action on what I was writing. It took a big shift, like a years long shift to do that. And this is part of that. So anyways, this was what I wrote before I went out to see the bat. Well, I didn't know I was going to see out. Excuse me. I didn't know I was going out to see the bat. Well, see the bats, we did. So this is what I wrote before I went out, and this came to me. I'm like, oh, this is tying up the loop. This is closing the loop on this experience that I had before. This is that alchemy coming into maturity, coming into fruition. Like, it's the lead transmuting into gold. Gold's been a really big theme for me recently. I don't know how many of you out there feeling this theme, but it's been coming through really strong for me. Just like, it's just gold everywhere. It's like create is what it's saying to me. Like, everything's here. It's all here for you in the field. Even if you can't see it or feel it yet, just trust that there is gold all around you, and just co-create with like these synchronicities and whatever comes your way. Just create with this light. Create with it. Like, don't fear it. Be with the synchronicity. Follow those intuitions. Follow those nudges. I'm going to get another cue card. This came through as well. This is another transcending timepiece. And I was in a really bad way at the beginning of the year. Like, from December, in fact, until March, I had profound nervous system dysregulation. Like, I was going to say the worst of the worst. It's the worst of the worst that I've been in. I guess that's kind of objective. That is technically true. I didn't want to feed it, you see. I was just like checking my language. But yeah, it is what it is. I didn't fully, as disturbing as it was, I didn't fully integrate the healing from that experience. Blind spot. But a piece came through today in that exchange that was being with the playfulness of the bat. And I realized, it's more set up. When I came back in, I was going up the stairs. And one of the things that I was doing to really be in a different state of being at the beginning of the year was just walking really, really, really slow. Just super slow. And going up the stairs, I had to because I would get heart palpitations. That's kind of the space I was in. And I realized when I was walking up the stairs today, I started doing it again. I was like, let's just be with this. Let's just be with this. I'm like, that's the art of intentionality. That's the rhythm of life. That's the art of my intentionality coming through. Nice, let me do this more often. I stopped doing it. When I got better, sorry, itchy nose. When I got better, I just kind of naturally found a different gear. Not realizing that, that wasn't just me slowing down for the sake of it. That was actually a skill that I developed, and I can name it as a skill, and I can be with it as a skill. It can be part of the art of living. It can be part of the art of time. And so I didn't fully write this one out because I wanted to come and do this video, but this came through for me so strong after being with the bats. I just wrote down the first line. The first line is, intuition is the art of intentionality. And intuition is kind of intrinsically linked to intentionality because for me, intuition is kind of like a jolt of awareness into like this space between belief and choice. That's where I find like my intuitive nudges coming in. Just like right in that sense where I'm just like, right, I can either go with this or not. I can either turn this intuition into a choice and like follow through with this or not. So that's where it kind of lands for me. And I wrote that down today as one of the integrations from that experience. Like back at the beginning of the year, March and stuff, I'm like, oh man, that's it. That's going through now. That's the light. That's the gold. That's the gold that's coming through by just being open to life. That's the lesson and the medicine of that also. That's the medicine that I found, at least tonight anyway. Because in just standing there, and I was just like standing really still for a long time, just taking these bats in, I found the beauty in the stillness. I'm just feeling into the quality of this stillness as I share that. Nowhere near as still, just being perfectly honest. Definitely not dysregulated, but not quite as still. But as I name it, and as I be with it, and as I hold that dynamic stillness, let's just call it, it's actually softening. Because I'm welcoming that here, right now. I'm just welcoming that. A lot calmer. A lot calmer. Or even in the saying of that word, then there's just like, just a little bit of reaching. There's a little bit of overreaching there. What I just did then was just welcome that part of me as much as I could with the capacity that I had then, and just allowed all of it. I was very nearly there. Very, very nearly all there. Not striving for perfection, we're just striving for holding. In fact, not even striving for holding. We're aspiring to holding. We aspire just to hold ourselves. That's what we're here to do. In whatever way we need to be held. Let's hold ourselves. The beingness of the bat. The playfulness of the bat. That's all we got. We gotta leave it there. Lots of love. Take care.